This week on the Digital Coffee, Google is adding some new search ranking factors, and it is all about your website. Facebook, it wants you to create better ads, better copy, better creative, and it's got some tips to help you. And TikTok goes educational. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and we are, hopefully, fingers crossed, live streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the same time this week. I am using restream.io connected to Ecamm, so hopefully we're going to get a better quality broadcast and you'll be able to hear all the videos this week. That is my goal. Thank you for joining me. If you are watching on YouTube, could you leave me a comment? Because I'm only seeing Facebook comments at the moment, so I want to know, does that work? And don't forget, if you're on Facebook and you leave me a comment, there's an extra bonus. You get a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper. I'll send it to you by messenger once the broadcast is complete, so about 20 minutes. And you also get the option to sign up for a notification for next week's show. Our question this week, if you don't know what to comment, is do you watch tutorials online? And Katie says, yes, all the time. I'm afraid I don't have the YouTube link to hand. I can't type things into the comment box. That is one of the things that is slightly annoying about this, but I'm sure it'll be fixed one day. But it is in my group, but don't go away. Keep watching, Ginny, keep watching. And yes, you watch tutorials occasionally. And Tatiana says only if everything else fails you'll watch on YouTube. I've actually got more into watching YouTube videos first now rather than spending a lot of time fiddling around to see what works. Good morning to Sarah, who loves online tutorials. Yeah, I'm getting more and more into YouTube, as you can tell. And Sylvia, hello. Great to see you. Yes, sometime. And the other thing, if you don't want to tell me that and you are watching, tell me what's in your cup. What is in your cup today? Is it tea or coffee or something else? Because we are sharing this break together. And again, I can see there's loads of people watching. Thanks. Tatiana put the YouTube link there. If anyone is watching on YouTube, I just want to know if the comments come through. That's kind of a big thing for me. So please comment there. And if you have commented, that means I'm not seeing them and I need to go and fix that. So sorry about that. Gingerbread latte from Costa. Oh, I love gingerbread and I love coffee. That's got to be good. That's got to be good. Right, let's get on with the news. And this week I am going to bring you again Kyra's video because we couldn't hear it last week.
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Thanks, Kyra. Thanks for that. Right. I got a bit distracted then. There's a lot of content online these days. There's so much content that actually it's becoming really hard to stand out on social media, even if you've got visual content. Unless it's really exceptional visual content, it's really hard to stand out. And I think, you know what? It's not just us as small businesses. I think Facebook has this problem too, because if Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook for longer, and if people are just going there and having a quick scroll through the feed, that's not working for them. That's not working for them. So it's my thought that it's for this reason that Facebook is launching some new image tools. Now, this is just for your personal page at the moment, which will make your visuals stand out a little bit more. The first one, it's just a different way of laying out your images in an album. It's not that exciting, but I suppose just having a little bit of variance in the feed, that will really help. The second one is more exciting. Let's look at motion graphics. And this is what they look like from Matt Navarra. I will link to his tweet below that shares all the information. And you can see there's these different effects, is what they're calling them, that you can add to your photos. I mean, there's nothing big or exciting particularly here. They are just like little zooms in or lighting effects, but it could be enough to stop you scrolling. It could be enough to grab your attention, a bit like those 3D photos do already in the feed. Now, just for people at the moment, not for pages, but I imagine it will be rolled out eventually to them. So the result will be, of course, if the images are a little bit more interesting and hold our attention, it will stop the scroll. It will keep people on Facebook and on your content for longer. 2 people watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for confirming this works. Thank you, Ginny. And hello, Sasha, who is watching on YouTube and on Facebook. There's dedication for you. So thanks for that. And good morning to Barbara. Don't forget to let me know what you're drinking. Tatiana has her coffee with a bit of milk. That's exactly what I will be drinking after this show is over. Who will I have next? Let's put Rob on, will we?
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
What makes a good Facebook ad, do you think? Well, Facebook have some ideas. This week they published a blog post on their business site to give us some tips for creating better ads for brand awareness. And that will, the reason for that will come clear. They've got some great tips towards your brand awareness. Definitely worth checking out. I'll put the link below because it actually has a formula that I tried to put up on screen, but the writing was too small, for writing better ad copy. So the writing that accompanies your visuals on your ads. And I think for that alone, it is well worth looking at. But some other tips they have. Number 1 is to define your brand voice. And I think this is really important for everything that you do on social, whether it's paid ads or not. And it's something I talk about a lot when I work with clients. We work through trying to come up with those 3 words that really define your brand voice. And what's also important is that needs to be related to your customer, to your target market, which is something I've been working on really hard because I think I was a little bit frivolous before. So I have been working with a copywriter on that. But I think that's core to anything you do online, and Facebook are saying this is core for your ads as well, to have the right voice for the right audience. The second tip is to explain why customers need your product, to talk about the benefits of a product and not the features of a product. And I know loads of you are doing marketing already, you know this stuff, right? But for those of you that don't, rubber gloves for doing the dishes. The features of rubber gloves is they may be yellow. Mine are currently black. They're made of rubber and you use them for doing the dishes. The benefits are, when you do the dishes, if you don't wear gloves like this, your nails crack, your skin gets dry and itchy, and you just feel generally uncomfortable all the time. You spend a fortune on hand cream. Whereas if you use rubber gloves when you do the dishes, and particularly if you put that hand cream on before you put the gloves on, you will have silky smooth hands even if you have to do dishes all day long. So you see the difference between the features and the benefits there, and that is really strong in your advertising. And even when we know this, people do get carried away with the features. It's a 6-month course, it's made of silver, whatever it happens to be. If you can really tap into the way that the problem it solves to your customer, and I go on about this a lot, you really will have a better result. Number 3, this is an interesting one. Use unique packaging. So people, when they get the parcel from you, know it's a parcel from you. And this got me to thinking that last week, Amazon, in association with Nintendo, just started sending out their packages, some of their packages with Nintendo packaging, even if they didn't have Nintendo inside. So it was like really brightly colored Super Mario stuff. Obviously it's about the launch of a new game, it's an advert, but that is a little bit more interesting when it comes in your door. So when people appreciate your packaging, they really feel bonded to your brand. And I know that Sharon from Your Style, Your Story, who I featured in a fabulous festive marketing masterclass, has amazing packaging that people are always talking about. Number 4 is to use retargeting ads. So if you're not using retargeting ads already, you should be. This is when somebody may visit sales pages on your website and you actually retarget those people. You show them an ad afterwards to kind of push them over the edge of buying. So maybe they've gone to your website, they've looked at your sales page, they haven't bought. You can send them another ad. You can even be cheeky and say, we saw you looking at our sales page. And that can really work. Also, you can do this not just for the customers who haven't completed a transaction, but for your existing customers who haven't bought from you from a while. You can retarget people who have bought from you in the past. So that's the tips from Facebook. Let me know if you've got any to add. And we've got tons of comments here. We've got Veronica. Hello, Veronica. Good morning with coffee and milk with me. Oh, I so want my coffee. Hello, Sarah. So true. I think talking about emotional benefits of my services helps me land clients. Like you feel less overwhelmed, you feel less anxious. Absolutely. And I think for digital marketers, I know a lot of you here are. That is probably one of the core things. You know, you can't do everything. I'm trying to sell you me now. Katie, great benefits. I had to buy some rubber gloves. I wish I was in the rubber glove industry. And love this unique packaging. Yeah, it's absolutely. And thanks, Loretta. I didn't manage to get a WhatsApp out to you this morning, but you're still here. So thank you. And you look super. Loving the scarf. Well, yeah, there was a little bit of rash going on, so I had to cover it. I shouldn't tell people that. It's a behind the scenes secret. Okay, we'll move on. And I know YouTube is working now. So if you are watching on YouTube, do say hello. And let's have a look at Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee from Wellshot and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Cheers.
When you go shopping, I betcha, even if it's like fun shopping, you go to the same shops all the time, right? You've got your list of shops that you like to go to and you will go to them. And sometimes you will branch out. You'll see a new shop or there's a shop you've always wanted to try out and maybe you've got a bit of time, so you'll go and have a browse. And if you really like it, you might add it to your list of shops. And I think this is what WhatsApp shopping is about. WhatsApp shopping is about allowing your existing customers to buy from you more. Whereas we've got Facebook and we've got Instagram throwing content and advertising. It's a great way, as Facebook said with their tips on advertising, that it's a really good way to build your brand, to become one of the shops that people may want to browse in. WhatsApp is for those shops you visit all the time. And the reason I'm telling you this is that this week they have added a shopping button to business accounts. So you can see it's right at the top of the homepage when you're having a chat with those businesses. And what this will do is it will just make it a lot easier for your existing customers to shop from you. When you click on that button, you'll be sent to the catalogue. You'll be able to browse through all the different products that business has without having to necessarily have a conversation. And we know when you pair this with the chatbots that they're bringing in, this will make the whole buying process very fluid and you will have to do less work to make those sales happen. So I think this could be really huge for me with the businesses I buy from all the time, and specifically because a lot of them aren't in my town. You know, there is a supermarket I go to all the time, but there's like a shop in Dublin where I buy gifts from. I would totally sign up to their WhatsApp. So I think this is going to really expand the way we shop, particularly when we're not leaving the house so much. Sylvia's saying she loves the snippets. Yeah, I needed to refresh them and I wasn't able to with not going out. So Sylvia, if you want to do one, the script is you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Feel free to send one on. Be happy to feature it during the Facebook live sessions.
This is Mary King from The FOMO Creator and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
How user-friendly is your website? How fast does it load? And not just how fast does it load the really important stuff? That's what Google are working on with their new ranking signals, which they're calling, I'm going to need to look at my notes a lot for this because it's really complicated, Core Web Vitals. And Core Web Vitals will come into place in May 2021. So they're giving you time to update your website so that it complies. And the 3 signals that they're really focusing on are the ones they're telling us they're focusing on that will affect your position in search results is number 1, largest contextual paint, which is shortened to LCP. And this relates to how fast specific elements of your website load, and specifically images, the key images on your website, how fast do they load? And I think this is because images are going to be a very quick clue to anyone that loads the website what your website is about. If you click to look at a product, you will click on that product, and if you have to wait for the image to load, that's a bad user experience. And that's my guess at why that one might be there. Second one, and I know we have all suffered this, is called first input delay. And this is about how quickly someone can interact with your website once they've clicked the button to load it. How quickly will they be able to click a button on your website or use the search tab? And they have put some telling you how quickly they expect your site to load. And the third one, and actually this is the one that I think we all experience, particularly if you're watching on Facebook now, you've totally experienced this, cumulative layout shift, which is talking about when your website loads and somebody tries to click, does that element move around? Or if they're trying to scroll, do elements move around, which makes it hard for you to do the right thing? And this could relate to, I know there's a lot of news sites that have that ad that will come down and cover most of your screen, and you have to scroll up and down and get rid of it. And sometimes that just means you end up looking or clicking on the wrong thing. Or could it relate to something similar, which are, I think they're called welcome mat pop-ups? So instead of having a pop-up window, you'll go in and you will start reading the article, and zoom, the screen gets taken over, slides down with this thing. Very annoying. So if you were about to click something, you end up in the wrong place. And thirdly, and the reason I said this, Facebook. Facebook loads really slowly, right? Not that they care if they appear in Google search rankings or not. Loads really slowly, which means often I am clicking a button I do not wish to click. And let's not even get started on Twitter. So it is a little bit complex. If you're working with a web developer, definitely talk to them. I wouldn't even know how to start doing this stuff. But it looks like if you do manage to solve any issues you have here, your ranking could end up, for all your pages, would end up a little bit higher in the search results than pages that don't fix these issues. So it's a really fascinating one. You've got till May, you've got time. Does anyone feel like me, but adding WhatsApp for business purposes, I find it a personal platform. I don't know why. I've never been a WhatsApp user, so I'd be interested to know, does anyone else feel that way? Should WhatsApp just be for your personal conversations? And I think, I think the way that business pages or business accounts work on WhatsApp, I don't think it's an issue. You're not going to have adverts. You're not going to have businesses invading you with your content. It's going to be your choice to interact with them. And I kind of like that. It is the equivalent of me going into the shop and having a chat with a shop owner, which currently I can't do. So I don't mind it from that point of view. But on the other hand, I've never been a big WhatsApp user. I've talked about it before. We have family accounts and stuff, but it's not a network I've ever loved. I tend to use Messenger a lot more. Sylvia is going to make me a video. The other rule, oh, you see, that just happened to me just then. That's not what I meant to put up. Sylvia, the other rule is when you shoot your video, just make sure you shoot it horizontally. I can't use vertical video. It has to be horizontal. You're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb is all you have to say. Tatiana says it's very good for business. Katie is talking to Sarah. Mini social videos from a platform like InVideo can be great for this. Okay, I'm imagining that's a personal conversation, so I will leave it there. think about it like you would for your school or your GAA group. Yeah, absolutely. I think I will use WhatsApp to buy from the businesses that I buy from. I think it's going to be hard to get me to buy from a business that I'm not already familiar with there, but I do think that's the advantage of WhatsApp. You're really keeping those relationships with your existing customers going.
Hi, I'm Carmel Siri and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
I like carousel ads as somebody that runs ads for people. I like them. Sometimes they don't get as much reach, but the benefit is that people can interact with your carousel ad. It's not a scroll by, it's not a stop and look. They have to scroll. Again, it's a bit like browsing in a shop. They can scroll through, say, different products that you have, and that means they're spending more time in their head with your business. So I'm a big fan of carousel ads. And this week, Twitter is launching a new type of carousel ad, which is apparently available to all users. Now, this is interesting because I don't think I see many product-based ads on Twitter, but this could mean that I do. Here's what it's going to look like. And it's interesting that you can add up to 6 images to your carousel ad. Now, this isn't advertising a product, it's more a storytelling tool, but I've actually found it really useful for product posts. And as you'll see, on Facebook, you'll have an image and each image has its own text. It's a pain to set up, painful to set up. On on Twitter, you just have one version of text. So this is really interesting. It could make me notice ads a little bit more on Twitter. I don't see an awful lot of ads and they tend to be really techy. So it could be a good way, if you are a Twitter user, to engage your audience a little bit more. Great. I'm really looking forward to Sylvia's. Just will you message me on Facebook? You can't send me the video through Business Page Messenger, but if you message me, I'll tell you how to send it to me, because when you send it through Business Page Messenger, I can now no longer download it, which is ridiculous, really, when you think about it.
You're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Instagram is serious about Reels, in case you didn't know. So tell me this. If you had a new thing that you wanted your customers to use, how would you persuade them to use it? You'd probably send emails, you'd put up social media posts, you'd direct message people, maybe you'd get in touch with existing customers to tell them about it. But if you're Instagram, all you have to do is trick them into using it. And the reason I'm saying this is because Instagram is planning a new home page, which they haven't changed in ages. And on that new home page, at the bottom, where the bit is where you used to click the plus button to create a post, is Reels. So when you click that, you'll be straight into the Reels interface. Of course, we're going to click that by accident, right? We're going to accidentally create Reels. And that that's the most prominent position on their site. That's how dedicated to Reels they are. And to the right of that, they're putting a shopping tab, which means that the Create Post tab and the Notifications tab have moved. They've moved up to the top next to where you get the messages. It's all getting a little bit cluttered for me. The whole Instagram experience is getting a little bit cluttered for me. But I do think this is going to result in more people using Reels. And you know what? If you want to make a big splash on Instagram, Reels is 100% what you need to be doing right now.
Hi, I'm Catherine Mason and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
We've talked about this. How-to content, tutorial content it's huge on YouTube. It's actually huge everywhere online, on Pinterest, blog posts. Anytime that you write a tutorial post or create a tutorial video, as long as it's better than the rest or as good as the rest, you're going to get more eyes on it. It is top content to create. And TikTok have realized this. That's why I'm talking about it. TikTok is no longer just going to be a place where you go and do a dance. In fact, if you can't dance like me, there are going to be other types of content that they're going to feature. And again, this is almost as big as the Instagram homepage change, because they're adding a new tab to TikTok at the top. There were only 2 tabs before for you and following, and now there is going to be a Learn tab. And in that Learn tab, there will be tutorials. And actually, I really like the tutorials I see on TikTok. They tend to be about how you create the special effects posts, which I am totally addicted to on TikTok. But from a business point of view, this is huge too. This gives us a type of content to create that would really fit with what we're doing. So if you are pondering TikTok, I'm still not thinking it should be somewhere where you spend all your time. But if you want to dabble with TikTok, perhaps it's going to be that tutorial content that wins for you. And that is it from the Digital Coffee this week. From my end, it seemed to work fine on YouTube and fine on Facebook. When I go and look at the streams, we'll know, was it good? Was it bad? And now I have it, I'll be less stumbly next week. I am on a low plan with Restream, so it will get better quality when I sign up to their full plan, as long as this works. Just a quote in from Sarah there saying, Reels wreck your head. You can't use them properly as a business account because business accounts don't have music. Some business accounts have music. I have music and somebody else said they did. But if you move to creator account on Instagram, then you can't auto publish scheduled content on later, driving you mad, because you know how important Reels are. There are some businesses doing some kind of creative things with Reels. I've seen quite a few business posts popping up in my feed. So there is a way you can get around the music thing, but it is annoying too. It is very annoying. Shane says the videos which give the best engagement are tutorials. I did one with which was 80 seconds long and it got 66,000 views. Yeah, absolutely. Tutorial content totally wins. Will we start creating for TikTok? I don't know. Anyway, this is great. Thanks, Amanda. Thank you for watching on YouTube. I really appreciate you helping me test this out. I will be back, same bat time, same bat place next week. And let's get this lovely outro that was created by Riley Johnson. And I'll see you next week.